It's been well over a decade since a new game, and with recent events in the industry, can it possibly live up to expectations? Today, we'll talk about Age of Empires 4. It's been over 500 days since the announcement of Age of Empires 4, and we're still doing as much as we did back then. The game is being developed by Relic, who've not been involved in any of the previous Age of Empires titles, and this puts an enormous amount of pressure on them as they are expected to perform from fans who've been relatively happy with the series. Not so much in recent years, but we'll get onto that. It's definitely important that Relic take their time and not rush the development process. I would argue that they shouldn't follow the current industry practice of rushing out games every single year with whether they're complete or not. We still don't have a release date, however, so this is a pretty good sign. This shows that they aren't rushing out the game, and this is extremely important as they haven't had a new mainstream addition to the series in over 10 years. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about the trailer, specifically this part.
We have battled through history. Now, a new age is upon us.
Just that one sentence that I heard at the end there, a new age is upon us. Now that completely screams to me that we aren't going anywhere where we've ever been before. Which shows that obviously, with the series is going to follow its current trend. It could mean that we continue to go forward. So we've had, the Stone Age, the Iron Age, then we had Age of Empires 2, which showed the medieval, and then we had Age of Empires 3, which was like New World and Conquering America, etc., etc., etc. But the issue with that is that there's not a lot of history in between conquering the New World and modern day. There's, of course, the Victorians and then the World Wars, but I can't see it being the World Wars just of how the Age of Empires games work. I can't see how it would work. And a large portion of Age of Empires fans really like that ancient history. There's rumours circulating around that it could be the Mayans, but we had that in Age of Empires 2, and honestly, the trailer is just completely open to interpretation, and if you want to watch it, I'll leave a link down below. So in summary, in terms of the time setting that we know and don't know, World War II and World War I seems like it'd be an absolute flop. There are plenty of World War I, World War II strategy games out there already, which are already popular. You've got Company of Heroes and all those other games, and it's not where Age of Empires belongs, and if they have made the decision to do this era, it's a really big risk, and I don't think it will pay off for them. Now I want to take a moment to talk about this survey that took place for Age of Empires 4. Over 1,000 people took place in this survey, but I specifically want to talk about this question here, and it says, please rank your favourite time setting for Age of Empires 4. Now as you can see, on the right we have very desirable, so purple, so the higher it is on the right, the more desirable it is, and the further it is on the left, the less desirable it is. So we've got the future as very undesirable. Very few people would want an Age of Empires game in the future. Alternate history is also quite undesirable. And as you can see, the Middle Ages, clearly the Age of Empires 2 fanbase there, really racking up that purple score, and it is very clearly the most wanted game. But I don't know if this is genuinely going to happen, because Age of Empires 2 is very popular, and we're having an Age of Empires 2 remaster coming out, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if they've just released a game in Age of Empires 2, it's very unlikely that they're going to release another game in the Middle Ages just after, and that could cause a genuine disaster in the community, and I can't see them releasing those two so close together. And the fact that previously in the video I stated that in the trailer they say it's a new age, and it just says to me that it isn't going to be the Middle Ages, but I could be wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong, but I can't see it happening. Now I want to take a moment to talk about question 17 in the survey. The rumours have it that the game's going to be taken in North America, South America, or Central America, or perhaps all three. And if we're looking at this, we've got 1.5%, 1.3%, and 0.8%, and that just screams to me that they really need to pay close attention to these kind of surveys, because there's very little in the terms of support for these areas, and we've got 30.5% of the users saying that they want the location specifically to be in Europe, and 57%, which is a huge majority, saying that they want it in all regions. So perhaps you can go anywhere in the world. In Age of Empires 3, you know, we've got the Asian areas, and we've got all these different places where you can go to, and it adds a bit of diversity to the game. So those who aren't interested in a certain region can go elsewhere and play different parts of the game, play different civilizations, and yeah, I feel like they really need to ensure that they're paying close attention to these surveys, because this is literally their diehard fan base, and it's crucial that they listen if they want this game to become even close to as popular as games like Age of Empires 2, which is having DLC bought for it a century later. And the final part of the survey, which I just wanted to talk about, was question 23, which states, what is the likelihood that you would purchase the following content for AoE 4? And this is obviously going into like the in-depths of DLC and, you know, what people would purchase and things like that. And we have the same scale here, with purple being definitely will purchase and blue being definitely will not purchase. And as you can see, by far the most popular is people would definitely purchase New Civilizations, which is obviously similar to Age of Empires 2. And I also wanted to point out that on the end here, cosmetic items are by far the least popular, with having definitely will not purchase, probably not purchase, and might purchase there in the middle. But that large majority again saying that they will definitely not purchase any sort of cosmetic items, which is an extremely important fact, because if they try and push cosmetic items onto these fans, there could be a backlash, and they have to be really careful as to what DLC they're releasing, and they have to ensure that they continue to release high quality content with, you know, new maps, new civilizations, and that kind of thing.